days, the way I see it, if you do something that upsets the cesspool known as Twitter, you either A, you probably did something right, or B, you didn't even do anything wrong at all, or post anything wrong at all. You just have a bunch of just kids, weirdo kids with too much time in their hands, basically gaslighting you and offended just for the sake of being offended over something, again, not controversial at all. In fact, it's actually something quite normal. But yeah, that's where we're at nowadays. So for those of you that don't know, Evangeline Lilly, she's been in, I believe, the Lord of the Rings films, or The Hobbit, one of those. I know it's one of them. She's been in that. Also, most notably, she plays the Wasp in the Ant-Man movies and the MCU. She was in Endgame and stuff. She's a Canadian actress, and over the weekend, she attended an anti-vax mandate. Gotta make sure that's clear. Anti-vax mandate rally in DC. As you can see here, she has a picture of herself, I believe this is her, and a sign sticking out of her backpack that says, "Vax Democrat for Medical Freedom." We also have Nurses for Vax Choice, and I believe that banner in the background says, "Defeat the Mandates." Feds for Medical Freedom. Oh, that's very interesting. And part of her quote here that she wrote on her post was, "This is not the way, this is not safe, this is not healthy, this is not love. I understand the world is in fear, but I don't believe that answering fear with force will fix our problems. I was pro-choice before COVID, and I am still pro-choice today." Now, to be perfectly clear, she has posted or let it be known that she is vaccinated and not against the idea of vaccinations or anything of that matter, of that nature. But she's simply against a vaccine mandate. So, especially mandate from the federal level. So, I would say in a perfect world, that would be like a sensible position to have. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it at all. But we're in a world now where not only people will like just, clutch their pearls after hearing something like that, but they call for you to basically be censored and fired from your job. Basically just losing everything. Cancel culture. Basically just be canceled. More or less wiped off the face of the earth. And of course, Twitter's going Twitter, and Twitter did the Twitter. As you can see right here, we have this one individual says, "Yeah, not too sure about us seeing the Wasp in the near future now." And that's, of course, one of her Instagram photos. Another person, Caroline, says, "I finally have justification for not liking her in The Hobbit." Oh, so it was The Hobbit. Okay. "Dear Marvel, we had 4,000 deaths in the U.S. from COVID yesterday, vast majority unvaccinated. I mentioned it because you employed an anti-vax nutcase who was using the fame you gave her as a megaphone to convince others of her dangerous delusionist remedy this." Yeah, okay. That's totally not what she's doing at all, but okay, buddy. Oh, this is a good one. Writers at Marvel reworking the Ant-Man script to add an emotional death scene. All right, here we got the classic Spider-Man meme. Shuri and the Wasp teaming up to undermine the whole medical communities and common sense. No, you. Letitia Wright. And yeah, Letitia Wright plays Shuri in the MCU, aka Black Panther's sister in Wakanda. And a couple of months ago, or like towards the beginning of the I wouldn't say the pandemic, maybe towards like the rollout of the vaccine, like she just stated like her personal opinions and concerns with it. Again, not telling anybody what to do or making any claims, just again her personal opinions on it. That just wasn't the popular opinion, and yeah, they tried to cancel her. And it's also funny too because we've been on like this crusade of give women voices, especially give women of color a voice. Now, Tisha Wright is definitely a woman of color, but yet once she says something that you didn't agree with, which again you're allowed to not agree with her, you're allowed to even challenge her with it. You didn't even just stop at just challenging her. You tried to get the woman fired and basically just end her livelihood, her career. Again, this is a woman of color, by the way, but it's okay because a couple of summers ago you posted a black square on your Instagram account, so you're good. You have to realize that all of these people are literal NPCs. Just straight up. I'm calling it how I see it. Straight up NPCs. Most of them don't have their own opinions. They just go by what, again, what the crowd says. Some of them can generally feel this way, but most people don't even do major research. Again, you have people in there, or basic research, I should say. Again, you have people in there saying she was spouting medical misinformation, which again she didn't. She didn't say anything in regards to the vaccine and its effectiveness, or anything of that nature. Her or Letitia Wright, for that matter, just simply stating that. And again, this is a person that we've established that is vaccinated herself. So again, in this clown world that we live in right now, you can be juiced up out the wazoo, but just like literally yourself. But if you say, all right, I took the vaccine for such and such reasons, I literally took it, but I'm just not down with enforcing a government mandate on other people, and I'm down for just letting other people choose whether if they want to take it or not, and just keep it moving and mind my business. Nope. If you have that mentality, or that stance, then you are literally seen as anti-vax, despite the fact that you literally got the stuff flowing through your veins, like. And I'm so over hearing, these brainlets putting out the same tired argument saying like, oh, well, no one's actually forcing you to do something that you don't want to do. No one's forcing you to take it and holding it down and like putting it in your arm. Okay, no, not forced by physical force, but it's definitely forced by, of course, mandate, making it difficult for you to, get a job, function in society, do basic things. And again, this would be a different issue if, private businesses and companies had that as their stance. Like, oh, you need to be jabbed up to work for us. You need to be jabbed up to, go to this place and such. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about it being on a federal level, which is wrong. And again, aside from that, I'm still just trying to wrap my mind. Well, actually, like I'm done trying to wrap my mind around it, because the more I do it, the more I'm just gonna like slowly just make myself go insane. But the whole culture around it, the fact that you want to just, again, you don't have to hang out or associate with anyone that you don't want to or anything like that. But this whole notion that you need to deem someone that just doesn't want to get the jab as, a terrible, terrible person, and you want to just regulate and make sure what they do with their bodies is just speechless. Don't know what to say with that. And another thing that I used to find it interesting. Now I'm slowly starting to see it as more disturbing, if anything. Back in the day, and this goes beyond the whole jab and the pandemic itself. This is just more so with like, culture as a whole. You would have like your favorite entertainer, or public figure of some sort, whether it be an actor, musician, athlete, commentator, and you just like said person for whatever it is that they did. Oh yeah, I like this person's movies. I like this person's music. Yeah, this is my favorite basketball or baseball player, and you just left it at that. But nowadays, I'm seeing this culture shift where, in order for you to like this person, not only can they have to be talented, or what you deem as talented at whatever it is that they do, but they also have to have your 100% like your politics, same political mindset, or your social mindset, or moral mindset, like, and not just all of it, not just some of it has to be 100%. Otherwise, like, no, you're a bad person. I can't like you. I'm not going to support you. Which, again, totally you're right. Not saying that you have to. Totally you're right. You can support and dig whoever you want to dig, but again, this whole cancel culture, BS, where it's to the point where, okay, if I don't like it, then the rest of the world can't like it either. Like, this person needs to be deplatformed. But it's interesting, very, very interesting. But hey, that's where we're at right now in society. Personally, do I think that she's going to, be fired from Marvel or anything like that? Probably not. Most likely not. Considering I think they've already finished, or like a good chunk of Ant-Man is already done. Also considering that they didn't even fire Letitia Wright, so she's still doing Black Panther. But yeah, she's gonna have to deal with these fake wokey woke scientists. That's another thing too. Like, I've always find it funny whenever like something happens big in our culture or society, just with like one Google click away, normies become experts overnight. Like, before the pandemic, no one was talking about jabs or vaccinations or anything like that. Now everyone is automatically like, a scientist, or they say, trust the science. I've done this research, this and I know everything. Just like whenever, a George Floyd type of situation goes down, all of a sudden, like, everything about racism and black culture, or this and that, or same thing that goes with like women's rights. Like, you're just an automatic like expert overnight through the hands of Google, and like you think you know everything. And if anyone has a conflicting opinion over you, which of course you can have different opinions, you can have debate. That's the whole great thing about freedom of speech. But no, we've gone from just debating to, again, deplatforming, censorship, and lose your job and your livelihood. So, which the whole the funniest thing about that is the fact that if you were so strong about your position, no matter what it is, why can't you just stay in the fight and debate this person? If you feel so strong about like whatever it is that you're talking about, again, debate, challenge, beat them at their own, beat them at a fair game. But instead, like, no, silence this person. Don't even want to talk to you. Silence. You're spreading misinformation. You're putting lives at risk. Like, oh boy, God help us. But again, no, all I see is just a woman expressing her opinion, and her opinion being that she is not anti-vax at all. Again, the woman is literally vaccinated herself, but she's just against a federal mandate. Again, what's so wrong with that? Or at least to the point, what's so wrong with it to the point where this person needs to be just wiped out off of like social media, or at the very least just like lose her job? I don't know. I'm just personally miss the days where I could go into a restaurant or a concert venue and see like one of my favorite artists play that I like, and not have to worry about some cuck at the front door basically asking me for the papers.